Hey guys, I'm doing the whole work from home setup, so I'm using a little baby ring light that my man gave me for Christmas. We will see how this goes. So I wanted to talk about something that I thought was obvious, but apparently isn't really obvious to absolutely everyone. I had a meeting with sellers a couple of weeks ago, and these are sellers who are selling their home on their own, but have decided to talk to a couple of agents, including me. And one of the things that was brought up was them walking buyers through their home on their own. They found their buyers really appreciated them walking them through the home, taking them for the full tour, and telling them about their own home and all of the features. My immediate thought was absolutely not. Generally, buyers don't tend to love a seller walking them through their house themselves, and all of the buyers that I've worked with have not enjoyed that during their initial showings. Here's why. First of all, they feel uncomfortable when they're walking through a home with the sellers themselves. It makes it feel like that's the seller's home, so they're really seeing things through the seller's eyes rather than being able to take it in as an experience for themselves. So that's one thing, just that discomfort doesn't allow them to sort of open themselves up to really looking at the home. Secondly, they're just not able to picture it for themselves. So as much as they may be taking in the information and appreciating it, they really aren't able to just open up and really look at the rooms and the layout and everything else necessary to be able to feel out whether that house works for them and their family. It's just nearly impossible when you have somebody talking in your ear and kind of telling you their experience of the home. It's really hard to separate that from your own experience or the way that you want it to feel. And maybe most importantly, they're not really able to give the proper kind of feedback. So most buyers are going to be pretty polite, and if they're walking through the house with the sellers, they're not going to give you critical feedback on each of the rooms or anything that they're seeing. Whereas with an agent, we get a lot of that feedback, and importantly, that happens during the process of the showings. So as buyers are walking through the rooms, I get a lot of their feels for what they're seeing and a lot of their descriptions of how they think it might or might not work for them. And what's important about agents in that experience is that not only are they there as a neutral other who's able to do a supervised showing with the buyers, but they're also there as somebody who knows their buyers. So you're able to sort of cater the experience to them and help them to experience that home. Say, for instance, a buyer has an issue with a room, it might not work for them. I'm able to try to help them create these solutions that may or may not work for them. That's part of the reason we have agents. So when those sellers did say that to me, I did ask them if they did happen to get any feedback or if an offer came out of any of those showings, and the answer was no. I think that kind of tells you that maybe that wasn't exactly how you think it was, and honestly, in my experience with buyers, they just don't love that for their first couple of showings. Maybe in the walkthrough, once the deal is already done, if you really want them to experience that house for themselves and see if it's gonna work for their family, let them walk through it with their agent. If you have any questions or feedback for me, I can take the honest criticism. I'm an agent, NaomiKnightRealestate.com. Hit me up or DM me anytime.